What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Thomas Gallery, and today we have another Inktober drawing. This is day 21, 21, and this is called Barking Dog. You know, there's an image up here of a pumpkin girl. That's what I call a pumpkin girl. She's going to school and she encounters a barking dog, like most kids do when they walk through their neighborhood, and they're on their way to school. They encounter that the neighborhood pet, and it gets to barking and jump a little bit. That's basically what's going on. But anyway, I wanted to talk about breaking the rules. Now, I know that sounds weird. People are like, what about breaking the rules? What do you mean? Well, breaking the rules is very simply put, when you reached a level. I gotta switch this up. Getting kind of feathery. When you've reached a level in your skills and talents where you can play around with the rules and or laws of that particular discipline. I believe it was Mark Twain that said, first you must learn the rules or master rules and then break them at your leisure. Which simply means, they don't mean just break, like, in order for you to learn how to break the rules, you gotta first master them. You have to first understand the rules of your discipline, understand the nuances, the intricacies, the quote unquote shortcuts of your discipline. All right. And once you have mastered that discipline, and that particular thing in and out, like there's no issue at all. Like, it like they say, the back of your hand. Then you can take it upon yourself to slightly deviate or just bend the rules, find loopholes in those rules and just come up with something new. That's really how new things are made. You take what is already here and you see, and you want to find out, okay, well, how can I take all of this and flip it? How can I change it? How can I do something different with what I have? Because what I have is still, the same rules that have always been. It's nothing new. 1 + 1 = 2. We all know that. But somebody had to break the rules and say, what about 3 - 1 is 2? Or, what about 4 - 2 is 2? Somebody had to come along and say, okay, I know the rules of this particular thing, but what if I were to flip it and change this and put it over here and put this over here and use this particular thing instead of this and see what you come up with? Now you've broken the rules. You've broken the conventional rules, because the conventional rules will state that, things are done not one way, but somebody has to come along and challenge that, see it from a different angle and say, I see what they're doing here, but I see a different way. I won't say better way, but I see a different way. I see it from a different aspect. So, it's breaking the rules. So how it applies to art. When it comes to art, art is really all about breaking rules, to be honest with you. It's always like that. It's always about bending reality. It's about questioning and seeing things in your own way. That's what the whole thing about impression is. It's your impression, your point of view, your perspective. And what tends to happen is you break, the quote unquote rules in certain aspects and say, okay, I see this particular way. I get that. But for some, I want to check it out from a different point of view, a different angle, you know. And that may cause you to question the old rules or the old ways of doing things. That may force you to reevaluate or evaluate and reevaluate some of the things that you were taught. And it may force you to, bring certain principles up to date, or it may force you to discard some of the principles that you once held. It may force you to just remove them. Okay, this is nice, but you know, this don't apply at this particular moment. This just doesn't fit, it doesn't work, it doesn't mesh, it doesn't go well. So, breaking rules, and that really, like I said, art, that applies more to art than anything else, because there are so many interpretations of the world. Yes, the earth looks one way, but when you say, when you ask somebody, how do you see your neighborhood, or how do you see the country, how do you see the world, how do you see people, and you ask them to draw their interpretation of how they see their environment, you may have some people take it from a literal aspect. When people actually, just draw a literal depiction of the world, the leaders of the world, the people of the world, the neighborhoods they live in, that they come from, you may have a literal interpretation of that, and that's fine. And you may have a child draw their particular idea of the world in which they live, and it may look very, very elementary, rudimentary. Then you may have someone come along like a Picasso and say, okay, this is how I see people. I know how they actually look. I got eyes. I can see how they look. I honestly see that. But you ask me about my interpretation. You ask me about my view, my point of view, my perspective, of how I see people. And this is what I came up with. And you may look at a Picasso piece. You may see one eye larger than the other. The nose is halfway off the canvas, or it's not even on the face. And you see a bunch of different colors and patterns and shapes and forms, and the size of the lines have changed, you know. But that is his particular, interpretation of the world. That's just how he sees it. Or, you have a Basquiat, or you have a Picasso, and you ask, okay, Picasso, Warhol, Basquiat, I want you three to give me your interpretation of the world that you see. And you will see three totally different versions. But it's still their interpretation of the world. It's still their ideas, still how they see things. So it's just how it works for them. And when you do that, you realize, okay, what are the rules to this, and who came up with these quote unquote rules for creation? How to create, you know, then you start questioning things. You say, okay, well, you can't tell somebody to draw their own interpretation of the world that in which they live, and when they do, you say, okay, this is off, this is wrong. Wait a minute, you're asking for that person's interpretation, so are you setting rules down for the person's interpretation, for the person's perception, right? So like so what are the rules? And if those rules don't go along with what you think, you break those rules. You say, okay, this is how I see it. This is how I see things. I'm drawing the world that I see, that I wake up to, and this is how it looks to me. It looks like bulging red eyes. It looks like green teeth. It looks like yellow everywhere. It look like you're breaking the rules, because when you give the artist a quote unquote blank canvas, you open yourself up to millions upon millions of different interpretations of the same thing. Just like I said, 1 + 1 is 2, 3 - 1 is 2. You're breaking the rules, but it pushes the envelope to the point where it forces you to check your own point of view. It forces you to challenge. It forces you to challenge your own perception, your own beliefs. It makes you stop and think and say, you know, he sees or she sees the world this way. They're challenging their view. And it may force you to challenge your own view. It may force you to say, okay, well, how do I see the world? What's my point of view? Where do I see, what perspective do I have of the world at this particular age, this particular time in my life? And it changes. You take a 5-year-old, ask them how they see the world, they may give you a different answer than you take that same kid at age 10 and say, okay, how do you see the world? Then at age 15, then age 20 and 25 and so forth and so on. And it's going to change. You little by little, you're challenging that child is challenging themselves, their own perceptions, their own ideas as they get older. So breaking the rules. So when it comes to art, there's nothing better than a rule breaker. Art loves a disruptor. The most influential artists were disruptors of the quote unquote norm. Whatever the norm was, that whenever there's stagnation, there's always an artist to come up and shake the foundation of that stagnation. That rhymes. Yeah. You know, essentially that's what that's what the best artists do. The best artist always sees, okay, we see where the world is. Okay, you see where the world is. You see where you would like it to be. Good, bad, or indifferent. You see where you like it to be. And in doing so, you find a way to visually or sonically challenge that idea to where it makes people so uncomfortable that they stop and they staring and looking and say, wow, okay, what is this? What's going on? What's happening? You know? Like what's really going on? Because this person right here is disrupting my sense of comfort, and it's drawing me to stop and stare. What's happening? You know? That's basically it. Anyway, If so far, it's a drawing so far, dog barking for Inktober, day 21. Hopefully you all are still going strong with Inktober, you know. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Leave a comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you all later. Peace.